Today, we're gonna see the 10 books that I will be reading in August. This month, I've crafted a curated list of fantasy books that are aimed to get me out of a reading slump and really cure my emotional damage. Because I am foreseeing that a certain book that I will be reading will destroy me. And so, already planning ahead, this month I will fill my reading time with books that are very adventurous, very fast-paced, a lot of standalones, short books, things that will get me fulfilled, get me that, yes, I am reading, and also a little bit of fantasy romance, just to keep things going. And let's start with the book that I am foreseeing it to send me straight into the reading slump, which is Furysong. Furysong is the last book in the Aurelian Cycle series. The first book, Fireborn, talks about this society that was ruled by dragon lords, these people that were really powerful and they have dragons. And then one day the people rebelled and killed all of these dragon lords, and now we are kind of like in the aftermath of that situation, and we will be meeting two main characters, two orphans that have grown together but that they have very different backstories. One of them, our girl, it's an orphan because her family was killed by these dragon lords, and then the other one, our guy, is also an orphan, but he was the heir of one of the most powerful dragon lords, and now they're really best friends and they're about to start a set of trials to see who leads the dragon fleet that remains. This series really, it's highly political, very emotional, and very much character driven, although it really has a very good blend of character and plot. Like, there's a lot of stuff happen. I loved absolutely the different points of view, like you're so torn inside. So I will be getting to book 3 this month, which is going to be the release, but also in preparation. And because this is one of my favorite series of all times, together with Stormlight Archive, I will be rereading Flamefall, which is book 2. Mind you, I'm not really a rereader. I've kind of reread 3 books in my whole life, so this is one of those, but I want to get into book 3 really in the mindset. I don't want to spend even 1 minute thinking what was happening. I want the full experience. Right, and then after reading Flamefall and then Furysong, I will potentially be drawn. So I will be reading a set of standalones next that are considered to be cozy, adventurous, hopeful, and overall great palette cleansers. And we will start with Legends and Lattes. It's a book that it's fairly short. It has a little bit more than 300 pages. It's rated pretty good with a 4.48 with a little bit more than 11,000 reviews. Keywords for this book, it's hopeful, cozy, and really high fantasy with low stakes. And it will follow our main girl, who is an ogre, and she has been fighting her way out all of her life. She was a warrior, and now she's like, I don't want that life anymore, and she just wants to settle down and fulfill her dream to have a coffee shop settled. But things are not as easy as it seems, and it seems that a lot of frenemies will come and it will challenge her, and she will need to do a lot of different stuff in order to get her dream done. Then I will be reading Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I've just read An Enchantment of Ravens and I absolutely loved it, and I've heard that Sorcery of Thorns is also very, very good. It's a little bit longer with around 450 pages, but I found Enchantment of Ravens to read really fast and to have a lot of dialogue, so I am assuming this will happen as well. It has a 4.08 in terms of rating, and it has been rated by a lot of people, 90,000 users. It's a pretty popular book. It's a favorite for a lot of people, and I think it's a safe bet for me to get into it. Keywords wise, it's mysterious, it's adventurous, and it will also have a little bit of romance. And it will tell the story of our girl that lives in this world where magic exists. She knows that sorcerers are very bad. She is settled in this library, and what she does is to mainly take care of all of the different books. It seems that the books have special powers and that the grimoires have kind of monsters. They can come alive,
which sounds outstandingly interesting.
And one day all the monsters escape and she will be kind of framed for what happened. And so this puts her not on the flea, but she will need to go to the capital to defend herself. And along the way she will meet this sorcerer called Nathaniel, and the story will unfold from there. Then we continue with the only book that I have in a physical copy, which is a Spiderlight. I am now in love with Adrian Tchaikovsky after reading Guns of the Dawn, which is my current favorite. Very different though. And so this book, it's a standalone as well. It's pretty short. It has a little bit less than 300 pages. It's rated pretty high, with a 4.11, but it's true that it's not widely known because it only has been rated by a little bit more than 2,000 people. So not bad. This is the story that it's supposed to be fun, adventurous, a little bit dark, and surprisingly emotional. This story will be a quest made by different characters. It has been pitched to me as this is a Dungeons and Dragons story with a hint of fun. I have a lot of trouble with spiders, reason why I have not read Children of Time by the same author, and there is a big spider in this book, but they told me that it's not really cringy and that I should be able to manage it, so hopefully that's true. Then we go to another standalone that it's a little bit longer. It has been self-published, but some friends have told me that this is one of the favorite books of the year so far, and you know that I should really give it a try. It has around 500 pages. It is rated very good with a 4.42, but it has been rated by just around 100 people. It's supposed to be a very emotional, adventurous. It's a quest and also a coming-to-age story, and we will be following Jack as he faces these different adventures and, you know, tries to follow and figure out something that happened in his past. In the synopsis, it said that he has killed dragons, that he has fought pirates, he has managed magic, so it seems to be like a lot of things revolving Jack, and we're here to see his legend. And we then have Magic Steeped in Poison, which is a nation-inspired young adult story that it's cozy, that it's supposed to be very lighthearted, and the magic will be based on tea and how it is brewed. Currently has a 3.95 and has been rated by a little bit more than 6,000 users. And this story tells the story of our girl who has just lost her mom, and it seems that her sister is also very closely following that path. It seems that our girl has had an important role in this death and what is happening to her sister because of a very poisonous tea that she has brewed. And so from that point onwards, our girl will do whatever it takes to save her sister, and it seems that in order to do so, she will embark herself in this quest to get the favor of the Empress. And before going into the two fantasy romances that I'm also having kind of like the in case none of these books up till this point are able to get me out of the reading slump, we have a book that I've wanted to read for a while now. Book 2 specifically in this series, it's getting incredible reviews, and it's The Grace of Kings, so the first book in the Dandelion series by Ken Liu. This is a story that talks about two characters that, you know, they were really different, but they united in order to overthrow the emperor. And now that that situation has happened already, they almost present themselves as opposite leaders of these factions, and you know, it seems that they will be fighting. It seems that there's going to be a long story in terms of scope, in terms of magic. It's the biggest book that I will read this month with 640 pages. It has a 3.74 stars and has been rated by 15,000 people. There has been a hint of romance in the books that I've previously shared here and there, but these two books are supposed to be a slightly spicy and, you know, had a core of romance. Both have been recommended by Jess from Honest Fiction. I will leave her channel down below. She is a master of romance and she also reads fantasy romance, so I'm here trusting her. She said these two recommendations will be incredible for me. First one is A King So Cold. It has a little bit more than 400 pages. It has a rating of 3.89 and has been rated by 6,000 users. It's supposed to be a very dark and emotional story. It will have a medium to fast pace, and it seems to be a very good blend between a character and a plot-driven story with a great arc of the main character. And the story will talk about our girl who is the queen of this kingdom, and we will see a little bit of the backstory of how she get here. It seems that when she was a princess, she was so cruel that her fiancé tried to kill her, but what that event triggered in reality was the death of her parents and also this fiancé with no memories. And so what she has decided is to take care of this husband but lock him up in the cell, where we will be seeing a little bit of why that happened and what they need to face from now onwards, because a war is supposed to be coming. I'm not a fan of the cover, which
unimportant, but I really would like to give it a try.
And last but not least, for August, we will have What Lies Beyond the Veil, with a little bit more than 400 pages and rated with 380 by more than 11,000 people. It's going to be also very adventurous, a little bit dark, a very good blend between a character and plot-driven story, and it seems that the pace, it's also kind of like a blend. It's medium pace. And What Lies Beyond the Veil will tell the story of our girl that lives in this world where previously previously the Fae ruled their land and they were kind of like really oppressed, and it seems that something happened that pushed these Fae to another world. So there's now a veil separating them, and it seems that one day that veil stops working and the Fae start to come again into the land. It seems that the Fae can mark you, and if you are marked, then you will be kind of like their slaves. But the people now prefer to see you killed than to see you a slave from the Fae. So you need to avoid being marked, because otherwise either you're a slave or you're gonna get killed. And our girl will be on the fleet trying to escape, to live freely, and she will meet other character, and together they will do this kind of quest to try to live freely. And that was it for today. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books. I'm always happy whenever I see a comment, and I cannot wait to chat afterwards. Also, let me know if you have other books that would you recommend to prevent or cure a reading slump, or, you know, just to keep me going and attenuate my emotional damage, because I will really need it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one. And if you're in the same situation and you are already seeking some books to get you out of a reading slump, or books that you can read really fast, I will link down below in the description a video that I will think it will really help you with that.